G'day guys, today's video I'm going to do a pouch dump of the Leatherman Wave Pouch that I've got here. Did the video on the Leatherman Wave Plus and the modifications I've made to it. If you haven't checked that video out, checked it out, but today we're going to talk about the pouch. So sit back, enjoy, and as always guys, thanks for watching. Alright guys, so first up, this is the pouch. Bought it off of eBay, but I'm sure you can get it on Amazon, shops, anywhere else. What attracted me to this case, or this pouch in particular, were it's got elasticized loops on the side of it, and it's got a little pocket in the back of it, which I'll show you in a second. So the first thing I've got on here, I've got this little flashlight. I believe I bought this in Vietnam when I was there on a trip. So it's just a nice little beam on it. Does the job, goes out to about 20 meters. But yeah, you've got the option on that one. You can press it in, or you can turn it all the way on. But I just like the size of it, and it fits nicely in the pouch. It's got the pocket clip on it, which I then just use that to help secure it. So that's on the one side. On the other side of the case, I've got the Ferro Rod, or the ferrocerium rod if you prefer, and attached to it I've got some shock cord. So it holds it in place and stops it coming out, and to undo it you just pull down the shock cord and hook it off the bottom of the Ferro Rod, and then it just comes out. I would look at changing this, or I will look at changing this once this wears out. I bought this on eBay. It's only a couple of dollars, so it does the job, lights the fires. But what I'd like is just a straight ferro rod with a hole through it, so I could just have the shock cord, just have that attached through that hole, and I don't have to have the second loop. The reason for the second loop is without it, it would hinge off of that hole on the side, and then that presses in onto the Leatherman, and it's just a bit more difficult to get the Leatherman in and out of the pouch. So I put the loop on there so that it sits side on in the pouch, or sits that way in the pouch, and it's yeah, smaller profile. So that's the second item in the pouch. So that's the outside of the pouch taken care of. In the inside, of course, you've got your Leatherman Wave Plus, and again, did the video on that, all the modifications I've made to it. Got tweezers and stuff that I've added to it. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. In the back of the pouch there's this little pocket, so I don't know if you can see that. There's a little pocket there, and I think that would probably been used for driver bits for the Leatherman, one of the Leathermans. They have you get different driver bits for it. I mean, the Leatherman Wave has it as well. And inside of there, the first item, put it down for a second. In that video, which I keep referring to, the modifications I did to the Leatherman Wave, I mentioned at the end of it about making up a file card. I was going to glue two bits of file together. I believe I was going to use diamond files, and you can get the little cards, and I was going to glue them together and hold them in the back of the pouch so I can sharpen the blade on the Leatherman. One of the comments in that video, I don't know your name, sorry. If I did, I'd give you a shout out, but whoever you are, you gave you said, why don't I just get the replacement file for the Leatherman Surge? And great idea. I completely overlooked that idea. So that's what this is. So you've got a coarse file on one side, and you've got the diamond hone on the other side, and that just gives me the option to sharpen the blade on the Leatherman. Right, digging back into this pocket again. This next item, it came with the Ferro Rod. It's just a striker that comes with it. It's got a little ruler on both sides, bottle opener. But yeah, the main thing is just that edge. Sorry, there's a big truck just driving through. There's a road just down here, probably 300 meters away. So the truck's decided to go through with its air brakes on. But anyway, so yeah, it's got a burr on it, and I use that for, or I did use that for lighting the fire with a ferro rod. Now I'm tending to use my my knife a bit more. But yeah, so that's that item. You could use a bit of steel instead of that, or I've even looked at maybe using a piece of hacksaw blade and just putting a burr on the back edge of it, and that'll give me the option of cutting small grooves in things as well with the blade. The final item in my case is actually 3 items in one. So I've got this little packet here, so it's just a clip lock bag, and I've taped it up just to hold it in a smaller profile. But what I did was I got a cotton wall ball, and I pulled that cotton wall ball in half and then spread it out into like a stick. And then I've got 3 meters of fishing line, I believe it was 8-pound fishing line, and I've wrapped that around it. And then I've also got in there 2 circle hooks, so I don't know if you can see them. I'll zoom it in, but there's 2 circle hooks, and I'll put some tape on the end of those just to stop the barb sticking through the bag. But yeah, that keeps it all nice and tidy. The cotton wool, I can use that for lighting fire, use it as a tinder for fire lighting, as a last resort if I can't get it going any other way. And the fishing kit, well, it's a fishing kit, but I don't intend to break into this unless I absolutely have to, or I'm doing a survival challenge or something, then I would, but otherwise, yeah, I've just left it like that. And you know, I had space for it, so why not keep it in there. So that's all the items of my my pouch. The only other item I'd really like to have on it, if I could, which I can't, but would be a lighter, because when I'm doing bushcraft projects, so mosquitoes around here, doing bushcraft projects, using cordage, you're cutting the cordage and then you're melting the end of it to stop it fraying. And so I've always got a lighter in my pocket I'm reaching for, and it'd just be good to have it all together in one location. And it then also gives you the another fire lighting method. So if you can't get it going with the ferro rod, you can always light her up with the lighter. So that's the only other item I'd add to that. I mean, you could add sewing needles, and I've seen other people put rare earth magnets and attach them inside the Leatherman, or you could attach them in here, and that could hold your needles and stuff secure. But yeah, this is my everyday carry. I'm carrying it at work, so I don't really need that. I mean, I don't need a fishing kit either, but you know. But anyway, that's the video. I'm not gonna wrap it on anymore. I'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching, guys. Tune in next time. I'm putting a video up every week, as I've mentioned in every video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Show your support for what I'm doing here. As I've said, you know, I really appreciate it, and yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you around.